where it's a video. We play a I'll just I'll just proceed and share my screen about this video, and then we can actually focus and analyze this video.
Ningyo, Episode 702, Attack of the Apps. Security topic, malicious apps. Starring Tia Carrera as Heidi. Over 300,000 Android users have been hit with banking Trojan malware that allows hackers to steal login credentials for banking websites. The malware was installed on victim devices when they downloaded malicious apps from the Google Play App Store. Interior, high-end restaurant.
You really need to pick up the tab, Maya.
Are you kidding? It's my pleasure. And I assure you, it has nothing to do with you being the decision maker on what could be our first seven-figure account.
I'm sorry, but your card's been declined. Would you like to try another one?
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I think...
Here, Maya. Let me pick it up.
No. I insist. If I could just, find my other card. It's, hold on. It's gotta be in here somewhere.
Interior, CISO's office.
Can you believe that, Heidi? I was mortified. I finally found my personal card, but by then everything was so awkward. Any idea why the card got denied?
Actually, you're not the only account manager who's had this issue. In fact, I was about to send a company-wide email about this exact thing.
Don't tell me. Someone scanned a bad QR code?
No, this time it was a malicious app. See, several of our employees used their corporate-issued credit cards to make purchases from an online retailer that subsequently had their data breached. That data included our credit card information, which allowed hackers to max out those cards.
Okay, but how did the malicious app factor in?
That's how all this started. The retailer's data was stolen because one of their employees downloaded a malicious app that allowed hackers to get onto their network through the employee's personally owned device.
I figured apps that are made available through a mobile application store are full of malware.
You're not alone in that assumption. They are, but some are tricky enough to get past the malware scanners.
Oh, geez. I'm downloading apps all the time. How can I check to make sure I'm not installing anything malicious?
There's a few things you can do.
Heidi and Maya sail a digital treasure map of the App Store.
For starters, check to see how many users the app has. If it's not very many, say less than a few hundred, that should send up a big red flag. Along the same lines, you can check the user reviews on the app. If it has thousands of reviews and people are raving about it, it's less likely to be malicious. Finally, you should delete old apps you haven't used in a while. The fewer apps you have, the lower your risk. Oh, one more thing. You could also check the publish date and verify the developer is legit.
Maya gets a notification.
Oh no, it's an email from Garrett. Well, dinner must have gone well enough.
You landed the account?
He just put pen to paper, closing the deal.
That's amazing, Maya. A huge win for you and a huge win for the company. Great job.
Teachable takeaways. While mobile app stores do their best to screen for malicious apps, they don't catch all of them. Warning signs of malicious apps include having few users, as well as asking you to install frequent updates. If you haven't used an app in a while, it's a good idea to get it off of your device, thereby limiting your risk.
All right, so I'll play the video one more time and then we can actually end this session. All right, so for those who are actually yes, I was actually experiencing some network difficulty. So I'll actually play the video one more time so as those who didn't actually follow can actually follow this video this time around and actually understand what the video was trying to say. Get my things together.
Ningyo, Episode 702, Attack of the Apps. Security topic, malicious apps. Starring Tia Carrera as Heidi. Over 300,000 Android users have been hit with banking Trojan malware that allows hackers to steal login credentials for banking websites. The malware was installed on victim devices when they downloaded malicious apps from the Google Play App Store. Interior, high-end restaurant.
You really didn't need to pick up the tab, Maya.
Are you kidding? It's my pleasure. And I assure you, it has nothing to do with you being the decision maker on what could be our first seven-figure account.
I'm sorry, but your card's been declined. Would you like to try another one?
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I think.
Here, Maya. Let me pick it up.
No. I insist. If I could just, find my my other card. It's, hold on. It's gotta be in here somewhere.
Interior, CISO's office.
Can you believe that, Heidi? I was mortified. I finally found my personal card, but by then everything was so awkward. Any idea why the card got denied?
Actually, you're not the only account manager who's had this issue. In fact, I was about to send a company
Is the video paused?
Subsequently had
Yes. So my network issue keeps on persisting, and then it's making it difficult to actually watch the videos, and I'm actually sorry for. I apologize for this incident. However, since we've actually watched a bit of the video, we can actually discuss and then take a few lessons from the video where this video is trying to educate us that yes, mobile phones can also have malwares just like our laptops, just that it's not that common because apps that actually upload are uploaded on our Apple Store, on our Google Store, or our mobile store, Huawei App Store, all these stores, they actually go through malware scanning. So they go through a process where these apps actually scan for malware. Now, however, some apps can actually, do it in such a way that they actually beat this malware scan, even though it is not, or even though most of the time it doesn't happen. It's not common, not a common thing in cybersecurity. But then, if you actually go ahead and install applications from unauthorized sites, so from let's say from Google, from websites, from other things, you go and install or go and download the APK. APK is more like the application um, installer that when you click on it, it runs and installs on your computer, or sorry, on your phone. And in modern mobile phones, these things are not allowed unless you go and override it in the settings column. So every time you're trying to download an application from an authorized website or from any other website, if you are using an Android device, this is mostly common with Android devices. If you are trying to install it, your system will actually notify you and tell you that, are you sure you want to do this? If you actually want to do this, then go to the settings and actually override this security feature or allow installation from different website or different sites. Then you go ahead and you overrun it and then you install this application. Now these things actually happens and that um, app can actually have malware associated with it. But then with the App Store version from the video that we are just watching, it seems that it can also happen that way. So one thing that you should actually be cautious about is when you are installing an application that is not well known. You have to actually check for reviews check for the number of downloads and actually read about it. If you're actually downloading a popular game or popular software or application on your phone, there's obviously reviews, there's obviously a lot of people who have downloaded it. So you actually get to know what you are getting. But if you are downloading an application that has low or the downloads are not many, then you should actually be cautious and try and find out more information about these applications. So yes, that's what the video was trying to do. I bet you all have devices. Most of us use Android, so we should actually be cautious of these things. We must protect ourselves because the criminals are actually, or the hackers want to find ways, to actually get access to your confidential information and use this confidential information to either sell it, commit fraud, or do something in your name, identity fraud and all these things, impersonation, all these things are actually something that we must actually take notice of and make sure that we don't actually repeat it or we don't actually suffer from these attacks. So yes, that will bring us to the first session of our threat intelligence seminar. We are looking at the second part where today we are working on practicals. We are working on semantic endpoint security. That is what we'll be looking at. It's just a short demonstration about how to actually make sure that these things, how to actually make sure that these things are going on, and so yes. So we are looking at like I said, semantic endpoint protection. For short, it is SEP. So when we say endpoint, it actually means the individual laptops, the individual phones that we use in our communication or in our companies, in our organizations. These things becomes our endpoint. So your laptop is an endpoint. Your server that you use, your mobile phone that you use, all these things becomes what? An endpoint. All right. Now, semantic, as we know, it has been in the industry for a long time, right? And then this is a security product that is actually trusted by organizations worldwide. And these applications, the semantic endpoint protection, allows organizations to secure their critical assets. Now, we are looking at the fact that we are in an era where every company or most companies are actually have things interconnected. So their endpoints, like I said, such as their desktops, their laptops, their servers, or their mobile devices are a primary target for cyber attacks or for cyber criminals. So this semantic endpoint protection tries and address these challenges by offering, kind of comprehensive protection, where it helps to protect against malware, that is the bad softwares or the viruses and other things. Ransomware are a type of bad software that when it comes to your PC, encrypts files and lock all these files and asks for ransom and asks for money. And semantic actually protects all these things. We also have phishing attacks and other sophisticated threats. All these things are actually important, and all these things are something that semantic endpoint fight against. All right. Now, there are different types of endpoint tools out there. So, as a cybersecurity professional or as somebody who actually wants to safeguard your computer, why would you actually choose semantic endpoint? And mind you, this is not can only be used can also be used by individuals. So if you are there and you want to actually protect your computer, you can actually use semantic endpoint to protect your computer, even though it is actually better in an organizational environment but the creators of the app, that is those who are actually in charge of semantic endpoints. The company is Broadcom Incorporated. That's the company that actually created this software. Now they have two versions. The one that can actually be installed on your personal computer, that is actually different. Then we have one that actually is used in a company or a business environment, right? So semantic actually is a world-known, recognized cybersecurity software. So why you should actually choose that? Because it has reputation. Semantic has a proven reputation that has been in the cybersecurity world for a long, long time. And then it actually ensures reliability and effectiveness. Semantic actually works. There's also comprehensive threat coverage. Understand? So semantic actually has a lot of or a range of threats and viruses or malware that it actually protects computers, businesses from. These includes viruses, like I've said, worms, Trojans. All these things are all the bad software. We have zero-day attacks. When we talk about zero-day attacks, these attacks are more like viruses that are not known, or vulnerability that are not actually even known by the employee, the company owner. So let's say that you have Microsoft Word that you use to actually type in your organization. Now, Microsoft Word could actually have a vulnerability that's the owners, that is Microsoft company themselves, not even know about. So Microsoft do not even know about this type of attack or this type of vulnerability. And when hackers actually exploit this type of vulnerability, you wouldn't even know. So you wouldn't even know how to actually combat it. Right. So the first reported or modern used of this zero-day attack was when the US government and the Israeli government actually attacked Iran nuclear facility. So this Iran nuclear facility was actually, the US government and then the Israeli government actually, they want Iran to be actually producing uranium. And in global conflict, uranium is the element that is used to produce nuclear weapons. And once you enrich uranium to a certain percentage, it becomes pure to actually do or to use to build nuclear weapons. And we know nuclear warheads, nuclear weapons are very, very dangerous. And Iran, as a nation, has large deposit of uranium. I probably think that's why the country is called Iran. Right now, so the Israeli government, the American government actually used a zero-day attack on Iran's nuclear facility. So it was a big nuclear facility there, and this attack actually happened. And then the security administrator, the facility didn't even know what was happening. And as this attack was even happening inside the company, the system was still showing that there's nothing going on, was still actually telling its member that it's nothing. That is why that is an example of a zero-day attack, because the system do not even know what is going on, because it is new to those operating it. And this attack actually resulted in a physical attack. Now the malware that was installed on the uranium nuclear facility actually was able to stop the centrifuge that was actually processing the uranium and making the company shut down. So the facility actually almost shut down, like it broke down, and they couldn't actually do anything because of this attack. And after some auditing, they invited, other nations to actually help before they realized that this was as a result of a zero-day attack. And then it was the US government and the Israeli government behind it. So that is a zero-day attack. And on a computer level, semantic endpoint can actually protect systems. They can actually protect computers, on these things, even if your PC do not know of this attack. This signature is not actually recorded already. Semantic actually uses the behavior of what is actually happening to flag this type of attack. And, it's actually something that is important. And semantic also have, and it's easy to use. The management and everything is actually easy to use inside, a business setting. This endpoint tool is actually easy to use. I'll demonstrate how you can actually get this running on your system in your organization. So if you are the security administrator, you want to actually install this semantic endpoint on other endpoints or on other laptops, servers, computers. How to go about it is actually very, very easy. And one actually important thing about semantic endpoint protection is the fact that even though most antiviruses, so semantic endpoint protection is an antivirus and more, even though most antiviruses actually focuses on signature-based detection. When we say signature-based detection, every virus, every malware, every bad software that actually exists in the world has a signature, has a way it runs, has how to detect it. So most antiviruses actually have these signatures written down. So immediately this antivirus actually sees any of these signs or anything that actually shows, this signature, it flags it as a virus. So that is how an antivirus mostly works, right? Now, semantic actually uses that signature base and also uses behavior based detection. When we say behavior based, it means that semantic can actually look at how an application is behaving or how something is behaving on your laptop, even if you are not there. They check the processes, they check the performance, they check the traffic of this application. It seems this application is demanding more than it's supposed to do, or it seems this application is actually having access to things more than it's supposed to do, or it's starting to actually request for something, and this application is not supposed to request for that. So at that meantime, what semantic actually does is semantic will actually block this kind of thing or block this process, right? So semantic can also be installed on the cloud and on device premises. So if you have things in the cloud as a business, we actually use cloud for a lot of things, new modern forms of storage, because saving things on your laptop is actually easy to be compromised, or your laptop can be stolen, or if let's say you are not near your laptop and you want the files, the cloud actually fixes these problems. So cloud computing, cloud storage is something that's actually used in modern organizations, in organizations that are coming up right now. Semantic can actually be used on this setting. So if you have things running on the cloud, semantic can actually help and protect the things that you have on a cloud. It is actually scalable, and it also comes with firewall and network security settings. So if there's too much traffic on your computer, semantic will actually block it. If it sees something happening on your computer, so network, so even on a network, so if you have semantic on your PC, And even if you connect to, let's say, an unencrypted network or a free network that can actually have hackers sniffing on it, Symantec can actually protect you from these things. So it's actually important for you to know. So I'll actually open my virtual machine and actually demonstrate how to install Symantec endpoint protection on your devices, your laptops, or desktops in an organizational setting through something that is called remote push. So just give me some few minutes for me to get my virtual machine up and running. All right, so yes, this is my virtual machine that's actually used for experiments and used in lectures and class. Now, one thing that's I have to show you is that, in an organizational setting, you get to know the IP address of your computer or the IP address of the computers in your organization. So if you are on a network, the IP address is mostly similar, and it is a private IP address. There's a public and there's a private IP address. The public IP address is given to us by our internet service provider and in a free connection. So if you actually connect to Vodafone, you have an IP address that will be given to you by Vodafone. That is a public IP address. When we talk about private IP address, these are the addresses that are mostly used in organizations. So organizational computers will have private IP address. That means it's only used for only those inside the company. This PC or this computer actually belongs to those inside the organization. When we talk about an IP address, it actually identifies users or computers on the internet or on a network. So instead of your name, your age, the IP address actually represents your computer. So anytime your computer is connected to the internet, it is the IP address that actually connects to the internet, that goes to the internet to retrieve things from the internet. That is how to actually identify your computer on a network. So that is the IP address. And on your computer, if you want to actually find your IP address that is being used, you can actually open your stats, locate your command prompt, and actually type IP, or in small letters, IP config, like this. So you get to see IP4, IP6 address. Now, there are two types, or there are two versions of IP address. We have IP6 and IP4. The IP4 is what is mostly used in our digital setting. So you can actually see that this is my IP4 address here. This is my IP4 address, and this becomes my IP6 address for this particular computer. So now I'll be looking to install Symantec. So what is the process if you actually want to install Symantec on a remote desktop or on a desktop in your organization, but you don't have to actually sit behind every computer. So if you have hundreds of computers in your organization, it means you have to sit behind 100 computers to install Symantec on it. No, it doesn't happen that way. We have a way to actually go about it and do it. Now, once you actually register for the Symantec, and one thing about these things is that, it's actually, you have to actually pay depending on how large your organization is. You have to actually register and get the subscription for your organization. Once you get a subscription for your organization, they give you an IP address to access this Symantec endpoint manager. So I already have it here. Once I click on it, it pops up. This is the Symantec endpoint manager. So Symantec is an antivirus and more. Yes, an antivirus and more. So you have to actually launch it, and one thing about launching this Symantec is, as soon as you verify, you buy or you register for Symantec, you have to input your password and your username. So this is my username. You see this password. If it is my password. So this is my password. Now we are here. We are inside the Symantec endpoint manager. Now you can actually see that on the window, it comes as install the client software on your computers. Install the client software on your computer. So if you have different computers, you can actually do this from straight away here. So this is a pop-up, or you can actually move clients between groups. Maybe we'll talk about it later. And classrooms and things. So the ICT teacher will have the Symantec on his personal or the admin portal or the admin computer. And once he has it, he installs it on he installs it on let's say the computers of all the rest, and monitors what each student will actually visit. So the person can even go ahead and block certain websites to prevent these students from actually going to these websites and compromising their system. So you can do that in group policy, also another important feature of Symantec. Right, so now we are looking at how to actually install Symantec on a remote computer. Yeah, so you click on the install on your computers. So you are here, it's a new computer or it's a set or brand of new computers. You have to go to new package. You are deploying it on a new package. This is the latest version that will be installed there. So, it does it automatically for you. So what type of Windows operating system, what type of operating system does this computers use? So maybe you would have to try and deploy it on Windows first. So if you are deploying it on the Windows or Windows computers, you deploy it. If you are looking for Linux, then you come and deploy it on the Linux, Mac OS, all these things are there. But we are looking at how to actually deploy it on a Windows operating system, since my computer actually operates using Windows. So you click on Next. Now, one thing, the important thing here is to actually select the remote push. We are doing it remotely. So you'll be here, I'll be in my room, and I'll be able to install Symantec on your computer wherever you are, as long as we have a few settings in place. So you click on next and you are here. So here is where you actually search for your computers. Search for the computer that you want to actually install the Symantec on. So you come here and you actually search. You come here and you find the computer that you are trying to install this Symantec on. And mind you, the reason why I talk about the IP4 address is Symantec uses the IP4 version. I think the IP6 here is not actually used in Symantec. The IP4 is world accepted. And most people actually prefer this. So here is where you input the IP address of your computer. So if let's say that you are in an organization, you are on an organizational network, it will actually bring you all the computers that are redeemed or that are actually enlisted in your organizational network for you to actually install Symantec on. So these are, let's say, all the computers that are being used inside Soft Afrique's system. All these are just computers on Soft Afrique's network. So if let's say that we wanted to install as many Symantec on as many computers as possible, we just have to highlight the one that we need to install and push them to the other side. So let's say that, let me see if I can actually find my computer here. Or if you don't find your computer and you have the unique address, then you input the unique address here. My computer is 14793. And the same thing should be here. So it will actually search for all IP address, all computers within this range of IP. And then it will bring you all the computers here. So now, yes, I've seen my computer. This is my computer here. And then I can actually send it to this side. Once I bring it to this side, it means I want to proceed and install Symantec on it. Right? Now, it will ask you for your password and your username again. So my password will be here. And what is the domain of your organization? So this is the domain of my organization, right? And this will be my name. I have to get the details right. If I don't get the details right, it means it won't allow me access to install Symantec on my VM or on my computer, right? So let's see if I got the details right. Now, one thing about Symantec is it would actually test, it will send a message to your computer somewhere. So if your computer, let's say I am in Kumasi and I want to actually install the Symantec on somebody's laptop in Accra, now it will actually send a message to this particular computer and to check and see if this particular computer will allow access, for me to do that. Now, on some computers, there are some default things for you to know. Like they don't actually allow this. The computer might actually think that this request is by a hacker, so it might actually block it. So if you have, let's say, a firewall settings on your computer, or if you have antivirus, a different type of antivirus or strong firewall settings on the computer, this will fail because it will block this request. It will prevent Symantec from actually reaching it because it might actually see this packet as a hacker who is trying to install this software on my computer. What if this software coming is a virus? So yes, that is a problem with my computer because I already have antivirus on my computer. I have the same Symantec on my computer already and other antiviruses on my computer. So it would prevent me from installing this. But once you actually go through this process, this is how Symantec can actually, once you click on the next, it goes on, you click on another next, the Symantec will actually be installed on your computer somewhere in Accra, as long as your computer has internet. So if your computer doesn't have internet right now, and let's say it gets internet, let's say in 2 days, 3 days time, as soon as your computer gets internet, the Symantec will be installed on it automatically in the background, and it will caution you that restart your computer for Symantec to run. And as soon as it does that, it will actually send me a message here that Symantec has been successfully installed on the number of computers that you wanted. So you can now manage these computers as part of your organization. So that is about Symantec, and that is mostly used, or it is one of the best endpoint tools in cybersecurity. So this will be the end of this class. And mind you, SoftAfrique, we also actually sell Symantec. You can also provide and protect your computers for you. So if you have a computer, or if you know of a school next to you or an organization next to you that wants their computers, that their endpoints actually protected with Symantec, with this kind of antivirus, you can actually do that. So yes, that will be the end of today's session. Questions, please. Well, if there are no questions, I'll actually proceed and continue that yes, Symantec, we sell Symantec. SoftAfrique can help computers, can help organizations, laptops, their computer, their mobile phones, their endpoints. We can actually protect it for you. So go out there and spread the word to any school, any organization, any business that you know that can actually, that wants their systems protected. The Symantec can help. And also, if you want to get to know more about this SoftAfrique, we also offer a comprehensive 6-month cybersecurity class. So this 6-month course will equip you with all the knowledge, the tools that's actually needed to be a cybersecurity professional. Me, myself, I'm still learning constantly. New applications, new things are coming up in the cybersecurity industry. So continuously, I'm learning more and more and more. So if you want to actually learn more about this, you can actually check our website, portal.softafrique.net, or look for our social media platforms on Twitter, now X, Instagram, TikTok. Send us a message. We will get back to you and we'll talk about how this class will actually help you. And this class is also flexible because it's actually mostly done on the weekends. If you are working, you can also partake in this class the weekends, in the evening. It will help you get to know more about cybersecurity. So thank you guys for joining us. I'm hoping to see you guys next week, same time, 4 p.m., 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 5-hour difference because of the daylight savings. Yes, so some 10, some 11. Yes. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.